Hi there, and welcome to this tutorial on altering a clipboard. I love Target, and Michael's even has a great dollar section. Always check there to see if there's something that you can change or alter. And I found these small clipboards, and I love the fact that the back has this really pretty pink and white chevron pattern, and I got to thinking how cool it would look to alter this using my new art pop cards, which is what I did. And here's a sample of what we're going to do in the video. And we're going to just add some art pop cards to this and transform it rather quickly into a beautiful clipboard. Although it's pretty like it is, I want to change it. So I'm going to start with art pop cards. I used 2 for my set from the In the Garden collection. You'll need 2 of each. It really depends on the size of your clipboard. For my clipboard, I used 2 of each, and on one of them, they just about fit perfectly, which I thought was awesome. And I just trimmed. I have 2 of these, and I trimmed one just a little bit so that they would be straight. And I'll show you what I mean by that. This one here, I just trimmed it just a little bit at the top, so it's the rounded edge is not quite there. And then it fits perfectly right up here. So use any adhesive that works for you, but for this, to make it easier for me, I chose to run my cards through my Xyron. It has adhesive on the back, so I peel it off and stick it on. It's really easy. This is kind of a slick surface, but you can use whatever adhesive you want. I'm not sure a glue stick would work quite as well as, say, a gel medium or a matte medium, or something that's just a little bit thicker. So if you have a Xyron, that's obviously a great option for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top card, the one I'm going to put at the very top. I'm just going to peel this off the back, and I want to put it just up against the metal of the clipboard part, and I need to eyeball it just to get it to where it's centered. And this is where it gets to be a tad bit tricky, because it's just a little short of being exactly the same width, but that's okay, because I solved that issue with another idea. All right, so I'm going to peel the other one, and we're going to place it on the bottom and just flush against the other card. And then if I trimmed it exact, it should line up pretty good here at the bottom, which it does. And if there's any extra, which there will be here on the corner, I'll just trim that off. And I'll show you how I'll do that. Okay, so we're almost there. I mean, look at how quickly that transformed the clipboard right there, just with doing that. Now, I took this art pop card, and I did 2 of these. I cut part of this big flower, and I cut one of the corner flowers out. And the reason for that is this just looks like 2 cards butted against each other, which I think looks great, but I think we need to have something to break it up. And I also need something to cover up part of the clipboard that's showing right through here. So I took another card that complements it, and I'm just going to place it, just pick a spot where you want it to go, right up against the edge, and place it down. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side with this piece. And then basically what that does is it just covers up that extra piece of the clipboard that's showing, but it unifies everything and makes it look like there's not just 2 cards stuck on there. Now, the tricky part that I found was measuring and figuring out how to get this part sized correctly. And I will tell you, the easiest way to do that is just to take a little piece of paper, and I just took just a piece of typing paper, computer paper, whatever. I'll show you here with this little example. And I just kind of put it in here like this, and I smoothed it out until I had the shape of what that looked like. And of course, you have this little extra piece where it comes in just a tad, so you'll have a little part on that side. And then I just traced it on the back of my card and cut it out. So then what I ended up with was a little piece that looked something like this. So you have that little tiny ridge that tucks in, and then you have everything else that fits. And I don't mind that it goes over the top of the card, of these other cards, a little bit. So I'm just going to tuck this in. And it's going to go off the edge just a little bit, but that's okay up here at the very, very top, because the curved corner is just a little different. My Art Pop card is not quite as defined as this curve here, and that's all right. I'll just trim off the extra. So you just get it as close as you can, and then it looks something like that. Now, the other part that I was mentioning is, since that little curve is there, you can see it kind of goes over. You can just use your X-Acto blade to trim off that extra. And I just kind of gently go around the corner and just press as I go and hold it. Oops. And break your blade while you're doing it. All right. I'll have to replace that blade and come back to it. Anyway, you'll just go through and you'll just trim off that extra. I'll do that later. Okay, so now we are almost finished with this. I really like the way this looks, but I want to finish it off with just a couple more things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of matte medium just to kind of seal it all. And I want to add, it's kind of a, mine doesn't have a shine to it, but I want to add just a little bit of protection to it. And so I'm just going to add matte medium. And with a paintbrush, I'm just going to start with downstrokes and then just add the matte medium all the way down, keeping your brush strokes the same. And mine is not glossy, so it will dry clear, but it just seals and protects the cards. They won't get, for scratching and usage and so forth. I just feel like it needs a little bit of protection for the use that we'll have for this. Plus, it kind of makes those colors pop a little bit more even. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And while we're letting it dry, let's work on our pencil. Now, the pencil, I just took these wood pencils that I had, and I thought, wow, these raw wood pencils would look really pretty. You can use any kind of pencil, really. And I'm going to take a piece of my Art Pops sticker tape from the same collection in the garden, and I thought it'd be really pretty to put these on the pencil. And they fit the diameter of the pencil perfectly. So I'm going to work up here. It's really kind of decorative more than anything else. So I'm going to start right about here, and I'm going to pull. Actually, you want to make sure it's in the center, like that. There we go. That's better. That's better. Like this. And I'm just going to press down, and then I go to the bottom here just a little bit past where the pencil is, and then just trim off so that it doesn't quite go over. And then just gently wrap one side and press, and wrap the other side around so that it comes together, and it really does fit the pencil perfectly. And so now you have this totally cool pencil that's been covered with coordinating paper that matches the Art Pops. Now, to unify these edges, especially where some of the clipboard is peeking out a little bit, I just added a little Stabilo pencil along the edge. Just a little bit, and even on the card itself, all the way around. It kind of goes with the cards anyway, since I use the Stabilo on those, but this just helps in any spot where you have your clipboard maybe sticking out. You can unify it a little bit. And then just take a paintbrush with just a little bit of water, and we're just going to activate that pencil. It kind of serves almost like a frame around the edge of the clipboard. And you can see how that changes it. And then in those little spots where the clipboard's peeking out, you really can't tell anymore that the clipboard's peeking. There. Perfect. All right, so we're going to let that dry. I'm going to flip this around while it is drying. And to finish this off, I'm going to use some sari ribbon. I just picked a couple pieces that I thought coordinated nicely with this. This orange color, and I think this green with a little bit of yellow is really pretty, so we're going to use those pieces. And you can use any kind of ribbon that works for you, of course, but I like the way the sari ribbon looks. So I'm going to fold my ribbons in half and create this loop like this. And there's a little place up here in the top of the clipboard. This is used to hang the clipboard. This is where I'm going to put the ribbon through. I have a pretty thick chunk here, but I think it'll go through. Yeah. All right. And then you open up the loop. So you have this loop now, and then your tails will go through the loop. And then just gently, especially if you're using sari ribbon because it can be very fragile, gently pull. And then now you have your ribbons added. So how do we attach our pencil? I have an extra piece of sari and I have my pencil. And then I have these really cool paper clips. They're little round paper clips. I just kind of looked in my stash to see what I had and I thought, oh, this is perfect. This will work. And so that's what I chose to use. So I'm going to take one end of the sari ribbon that's already on there and I'm going to put it through the loop and go all the way to the end. And then I'm going to tie a knot at the end, or just tie it to it so that it stays up at the very top. And the ribbon's long enough that it doesn't take away from the rest of it. And so now I have that little loop there to attach my pencil. So now for pencil attachment, we're going to tie another piece of ribbon here onto the loop like this, and then just tie it to where it's on that little paper clip. Okay, and then just tie your pencil. You know, I even thought about attempting to Dremel my pencil to see if I could put a little tiny hole through it, but that was really hard to do because of the lead. All right, I'm going to trim a little bit of these off because these are a little long. And so now you have your clipboard with a cool coordinating pencil and some fibers added on. Now the only thing else that I would do differently here at this point, probably even beforehand, is you can actually spray seal that Stabilo pencil so that it doesn't get wet. If it gets wet again, which I'm not sure that it would, but if it did, you could seal it so that it wouldn't activate again with water. And you can just use inexpensive hairspray, or you can use a spray sealer for that if you choose to. So that would be it. And that is our altered clipboard. And then don't forget to go in and just, you can go in with your X-Acto blade and trim off those edges. I haven't replaced my blade, but I will do that. But for the most part, it's quite finished. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you find some cool things in Target or in Michael's or the Dollar Tree that you can actually alter into something beautiful. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you were inspired. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.